Well, hi. Rotate your device. Oh boy. Okay. Hope we're good. Welcome to Tuesday Talk. I am going live both on YouTube and on Facebook tonight. So this is something a little bit different. Amy O'Connor of AJ's Vintage Designs so generously decided to have a page where she shared everyone's Facebook Lives that they did. And I typically don't go live on a regular basis on Facebook, but I decided that I would share my Tuesday talk that I do on YouTube and broadcast on Facebook as well. So it's the Tuesday before Christmas, and I hope you're all caught up with your baking and your wrapping and all that good stuff, decorating. So we're taking a minute to do a little bit more holiday decor. And this isn't for my home. I'll probably sell it in the store. But it's really simple. I actually already did most of the work. We're going to work on two pieces, but we're going to focus on these transfers, the evergreen and holly transfer, which is a new transfer from the Bells and Whistles line from Dixie Belle. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and we'll take a look at these. And I'll also show you what I'm working on. So, you know what, before I do that, I'm going to take a step back because behind me, I want you to see this is a display that we do every year. And I'll just step out of the way a second and show you. And I'll move the chair. This is our Norman Rockwell. I'll dim the lights a minute. Norman Rockwell set, the houses that have all the little scenes in them. So we do this every year, and I just thought I'd take a second and show you that. But that'll be in the background while we're working. And I'll also, since I'm up, I'm going to pull this up and show you. This is our first project. This is a rather large, see, rather large, it's a cabinet door, but it's going to be for outdoors, kind of like a porch sitter, I guess you call them. But I'll be putting the screen down so you can see. And I also have a tray that we're going to work on. So if you comment, I hope I can see your comments because I'm working with both screens. I'll do my best. So let's look at these beautiful transfers, and then I'll put the screen down so we can decide what we're doing. So this one says Mary, and I used silk on both of these projects. I used conch, which is the pink color, and then I used Hampton Olive. I used this one on the tray, but I also did the stencil on it that says Mary with the Hampton Olive. And I simply used stencils that I got at Michael's. These are the stencils, okay? They are 4-inch Craft Smart. So I was going to spell joy on the tray, but apparently I used these before and maybe lost some letters. So anyway, look at these gorgeous transfers. I love the roses and the pine cones and the berries. They're just so beautiful. Okay, I think that we'll be able to layer a lot of these. I love these poinsettias. Just gorgeous. And of course, a cardinal is always a favorite of mine. This cardinal is definitely going on the Mary sign because I think those reds are just going to pop off of this sign. And then here's the one. This one has an ornament with a bird. So the fa la la one is sort of like the tray is going to be a little more whimsical. So let's focus on doing this big sign first. And then we're also going to highlight some of the features on it. So I'll show you. I'm going to go ahead and put the screen down. So pardon my hand if you see my hand in there. Okay, and that is rather dark. Trying to adjust the light a little bit. So, okay, also, so on the cabinet door here, you can see where I'm touching right here. Okay, there was a hole, so I just used would you bend these key molds and just glued that on there. And I'm going to be using Gemstone Mousse and Garnet to give a little bit of highlight to this piece after we get our transfers on. So let's pick some of these beautiful transfers, and let's start with this cardinal. And here's my scissors. Okay, because I just know that's a for sure, and I want to use that regardless. So I'll get these out of the way, and let's cut this cardinal out. So I know my grandkids are excited for Christmas. They're 7 and 4. And they just got their letters from Santa today. They're super excited. We had them over for cookie baking, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, so here's this gorgeous cardinal. And let's see. I think we're going to put him down in the lower corner of this piece. So right around here. So we're just going to peel off the backing. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure you guys can see this, but I'm kind of going up over the edge of this. Okay, this is a large piece, so it's kind of difficult to move around, but we'll make the best of it here. So I'm kind of going in those ridges first. These transfers are so easy to use. They just pop off that backing paper. The biggest thing that I can say as far as a hint or a tip for you with transfers is to absolutely make sure that your paint is dry. So this is why we're working on this piece first, because I want to make absolutely positively sure that the other piece is dry, because I put a second coat on it after I came home, after I closed the store tonight. So just want to make sure. So also, I hope that you guys were able to see the Star of Bethlehem in the sky tonight. It hasn't been seen this clearly for 800 years. And let me tell you, it was amazing. So if we're friends on Facebook, on my personal page, I posted a picture that my husband took from our upstairs windows. And it's amazing. He said, I see why they followed that star. So, what a beautiful, beautiful thing to see this time of year. Truly amazing. Okay, I'm going to start to peel it up a little bit while I'm still rubbing it, just making sure that everything's transferring. And if it doesn't, you just lay it right back down. And just make sure you get it all, that's all. See how this is easily just coming off. I think that the transfers really adhere nicely to the silk paint, but just again, make sure that your paint is dry before you attempt to apply a transfer. I did paint this earlier today, probably around 4 o'clock. And I did use a heat gun on it. Nothing like wait until the last minute, but I guess that wasn't the last minute exactly. Again, if you comment, I may or may not be able to see you. So if you comment on Facebook, I'll definitely answer any questions you might have later. So just to let you know, for those of you on Facebook, I do this every week. Well, I'll be doing it every week on Facebook as well now, but I have 3 shows on YouTube. I have Tuesday Talk, and then I have More About Decor on Thursdays, and then I have Step by Step on Saturdays, which is usually a furniture painting tutorial. Okay, so after you get the transfer off, you just want to use your fingers and just burnish it down. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. I knew that this red would just be so beautiful on that beautiful conch paint. So anyway, Saturdays, I have some fun things coming up. I'll just throw my garbage over there. Okay, let's see. Let's do some poinsettias. I like this one. These are just so gorgeous. Not sure who designed these, but they did a beautiful job. These are just like so traditional, these designs, but they're so vibrant in color. So I think that will, I guess there's no upside down or right or wrong to this. So I guess we'll start that one coming down, like cascading, except I don't like that one. We'll do it this way. And, okay, so I guess you guys can't see. So let me try to move this a little bit. But I'm sorry, on the Facebook side, it seems very dark. But, let's get you turned here. I have to be careful how I adjust this so that I don't knock the whole thing over. That's never good. Okay, so we're going to start up here with this, and it's just going to kind of run into that M a little bit. And I'll try to pull this down just a tad so that you guys can see. All right, and again, we're going up a little tiny bit up on the edges of this piece, and just going to carefully maneuver that. This one's much easier to apply. So tomorrow, after we close, I'm gonna have dinner with the girls from work, from the store. So that'll be a nice evening. And then Thursday, business as usual. Still trying to finish up a few last minute projects for some customers. One's a definite need by Christmas. The other one is I'd love to be able to surprise them and say it's done by Christmas. And then after that, we close at 2 on Friday. And then we're normally closed Sunday and Monday anyway. So this week I'll get off at 2 on Friday and have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. I think I'm actually gonna not work too. Who knows? You know me. I may end up going in a little bit just to do a few little things, but I really want to enjoy time with my husband and my family. Okay. So I think this is really looking pretty. I think it needs a little bit more. Let's see what else we've got here. We could do some of the holly. Love those roses. Let's see. That seems like it's more of a top piece, but let's cut it out and see what it would look like. It's just so gorgeous. Now, the only thing is, it doesn't seem to be in proportion with, I'm really weird about proportion, with the poinsettias. And also, like, the rose is as big as the cardinal. So maybe this won't be a good choice. Yeah, I think, also, there's no good placement. Now, if I had started it up there at the top, maybe, gone a little different direction with that, but I wanted to get those vibrant reds. So we'll hold off on that. There's plenty of projects. These would be proportionate, the berries. I'm going to turn this screen a little bit. So let's go with some holly up in the corner, or maybe we want to cascade this somewhere. So if you're tuning in, feel free to say hello. And also, just to let you know that I will put my affiliate link in the comments, because that way, if you guys see anything that you want to order, you can do that, and then you just order it directly from Dixie Belle, but I get a little kickback, so that's always nice, helps my small business grow. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there a second and just, like, we can play around with some of these other motifs. Maybe put some of these other ones. I don't know, just thought I'd take a look at that real quick and see. So you guys can still see, I hope. Again, this one seems so dark, and I apologize for that. I have to work on my double screen game. Because this piece was so long, I had to work on the long side of the table, so. And on the other side of this table is all the Christmas cookies we've been baking. So my grandkids watch this thing on YouTube where they decorate these giant gingerbread cookies to look like Disney characters. So, like, my grandson was obsessed with this, so I surprised him with some giant gingerbread cookies. So we decorated them the other night. So we did Elsa and Wreck-It Ralph. Oh my gosh, they were so cute, and they had so much fun doing it. And then we baked some other cookies. They stayed overnight, and we baked other cookies. They decorated sugar cookies, and we found a really cool really cool idea. Because of doing Elsa, I got I got Jello instead of food coloring to put in the icing. Wow, we loved it. So my husband really loved it. He said this is great. So we'll be doing that from now on. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this a little bit over the edge. Hope you guys can see that. I'm going to run it up over that. Part of it's kind of overlapping the other design, and some of that holly is going over the edge of the door here. So I'm calling it a door. Again, it is a cabinet door, but it is upcycled to be a sign, an outdoor sign, like on your porch. One of those ones that you lean up against by the door. I don't know what you call those. Signs. Gosh, these poinsettias are just gorgeous. And the holly. I absolutely love these. So if I put these out and nobody buys them, I may keep them, or we'll just keep them for next year. Either way. Sorry about the noise. All right. All right, what do you guys think? I think these are gorgeous. Okay, so let's do just a few more little things on here. Let's introduce a little bit of this holly. And well, again, this is what I consider out of proportion. These ones are more in proportion. So let's do them. Maybe we'll keep another poinsettia. Now this would be gorgeous to use some wax on. How about we put that one here? And again, I'll move this up a little bit so you both can see. Yeah, you could use dark wax with this, or white wax would even be really pretty. But I think the only embellishment I'm going to do on it right now, as soon as I'm done with the transfer, is I'm going to use this Gemstone Mousse in Garnet. And I believe right now, I think this offer is still going. If you order from Dixie Belle, if you order $100 worth, that's a free gift. So again, if you use the affiliate link, you can take advantage of that offer. I'm pretty sure it's still going on. And if you have any questions, you can always just put the questions in the description or in the comments. I don't know if anybody's commented. I haven't been able to see. So, So if you did, I apologize if I haven't seen it. I have 2 devices and transfers going. So Thursday night's video, if you watched last Thursday night, I asked some of my Facebook friends if I could share some of their holiday decor. So I compiled them and did a video. Well, we're kind of doing a little bit more of the same this week, this Thursday, but it's a little bit different too. So I hope you'll tune into that one. I think you'll enjoy it. A lot of cool stuff on that one. It's funny because I was thinking, oh boy, it's going to be a lot to kind of do the same thing again and try to find that many things, but it was actually pretty easy. I found a lot of cool stuff, more than I would have imagined. There's a lot of generous people in our area that do cool things, so we're going to focus on some things like that, and just some really cool traditions that people do. So if you have any really cool traditions, let me know. I'd love to hear about them. Okay, so again, you want to press this down, and it's always a good idea to seal your transfers, especially, like I said, this one will probably be going on a porch, but you can seal them with wax, or you can seal them with clear coat. Okay, so we have 2 more pieces. I think we're just going to run this along here somehow. Let's see. Let's do that, and then we'll put the other one somewhere else. I can only look at one transfer at a time. How about that? How about it? I just laid it down. Sometimes too much thinking can debilitate you, so sometimes you just have to go with it. And just lay it down and just go with it. And be a little organic with it. Sometimes when I paint furniture, I don't really know what I'm gonna be, doing till it's all said and done. I just kind of start, and it dictates it to me as I go. Then other times I have everything planned to the letter. So you just never know what's going to happen, and it's good to be flexible and go with it sometimes. Oh, I love that. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so we have one more clump of this, and I think we'll stick it down in this corner that you cannot see. Let me turn this around so you can see this corner. And we're almost done with this one. Okay, and again, I just kind of squished it into that corner. And we'll use the stick and push it into the corner first. And then sometimes, like in a situation like this, it's good to take a pair of scissors and just kind of relieve that. I don't know what the word is. Just so you don't have all that extra plastic backing that's sticking up. And It just makes it easier to lay the transfer down. This cabinet door, this was from an entertainment center that I made a coffee bar out of, so I took the doors off of it, and then I had it in a class. I do a cabinet painting class, and the people at the class, it was actually like a mixed bag of all kinds of, some of them were doing beginner stuff, and then I had one person doing the cabinet painting. So anyway, I used this one as a sample board. So I just thought, well, we'll paint it and make a sign out of it. So I love to upcycle big cabinet doors in that way. All right, so I'll definitely hold this up so you can see it. But before we do that, let's turn this up here again. I always like to touch and see if we get that in the shot here. Okay. YouTube, we'll put you down a little bit. There. Okay, so I am just getting in the Gemstone Mousse here. This is oil-based, and usually you want to stir this up, but this is, I just used it not too long ago, so I'm just going over the details in this Would You Bend mold that I used. Okay, and I'm just going to take my finger along the edges here on the inside and on the outside, just give it a little bit of bling and a little bit of highlight. And then I'm going to hold this up so you can see it, and then we'll do some work on our tray. Our little fa-la-la tray, and I'll tell you the story of that piece. Another upcycled thing. I can't ever throw anything away. It's a downfall, and it's also, I guess, a good thing sometimes, but yeah, either way, that's that's me. And I can't say no when people give me stuff too. Like, in other words, they want the junk out of their house, but they know I'm a sucker for it, so they ask me. If you've ever seen the musical Oklahoma, I'm just a girl who can't say no. It's junk, that is. So, all right. Like I said, there's more you could do with this with wax. So I'm gonna see what we need to do here to hold this up so you can see it. Turn this, put you up here, and then see what we need to do here. I'm putting it on the chair here. Trying to do let me see, YouTube you can't really see. There we go. Mary. All right, I think that's pretty. So I'm going to set that aside and grab our tray here, our fa-la-la tray. Okay. Well, we're putting a hurting on these transfers, but that's good. Okay, I'm setting them aside. All right. I'm going to pull this up a little bit. Okay. So, now that we can see each other, imitate Joan Rivers, can we talk? So, let me show you this. Fa la la la, fa la la, fa la la. So anyway, here's some detail on it. I put some handles on it. This used to be the tabletop, okay? And the legs were under it, and they folded up. And it said, it was from 1939. It said UP. I guess it was from United Presbyterian. But anyway, it was broken. So I took a piece out and added handles to it. The one handle that was on it, I would have been nice to keep those handles, but they were, one was broken. So you do what you have to do. Okay, I'm going to put the camera down so you can see the details that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to point over here on the edges. What I did was, because of the way I had to piece it, because this was totally out, I just put a piece of wood in there. So I wanted to make it look a little more attractive. So I used this air dry clay. This is from Crayola. It's a really good bargain. I get it at Michael's. This tub has lasted me so many projects. And this is an IOD mold that I used to make this. And I will tell you, I used cornstarch. Some materials you don't have to too much, but you have to dust it with cornstarch when you're using that Crayola air dry clay. And then I just used Titebond Premium, Titebond 2 to adhere it to the tray. And then I just painted it over. So this isn't completely set, but good enough to work with. So I painted everything a while ago and did the stencil. So I would have ideally put white on here for the stencil, but I kind of came home without that. So we didn't. So originally I was thinking this would be a fun design for this one, but I also wanted to spell joy, but I didn't have enough letters. I don't know what happened to the letters. So I'm kind of gonna nix that idea. I like the ideas of the holly in the corners maybe. Let's look and see what else we have. You know, these are pretty. I think these beautiful roses would show up beautifully on this green. I think that would be pretty. So I don't know whether we have enough room. And it would be kind of cool, I think, if this kind of came over the letters. So let's just do it. Okay, let's do it. Peeling the back off. Just make sure you don't let it go back on itself. And I want to get those roses up there as far as possible. I'm going to kind of do the same thing I did before and just kind of work it into the corner. Now what did I do with my stick? There it is. Okay, can you guys see? All right. I'm going to kind of hold this up a little bit so you can see. I'm just kind of working that. I kind of pressed that into the edge. So I want to get that, and then I'll lay it down and work on the rest. Get it a little closer so you can see. Like I said, I'm going to have to work on my lighting and double screen game if we're going to do Facebook and YouTube every week. and comments, because if anybody's commented, I haven't seen one comment. So, my apologies if you did. So, like I said, I would have preferred that this said joy, but it doesn't. It says la la la. That was the only other word I could think of that would fit on the tray. And again, I'm sorry about the noise, but boy. I'm not a person that likes paper rattling sounds at all. It really drives me insane. If I'm doing it, it's a little better. Normally what I do is cut some of this off. So I think I'll do that. That makes it a little better. Okay. A little more manageable sometimes when you're working in an area like that. Like I said, this one was painted a little while ago, so you always want to make sure that your paint is dry. I think we're in good shape. Everything could stand to be probably a little bit drier. I was like leaning on this, and this mold isn't really set. This whole piece is probably just saying, could you just let me sit a while? Like in the morning, it'll just be beautiful. Everything's going to be beautiful on it. All right, I'm going to flip that around so you can see. La 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 la. Well, I keep wanting to say la la, but it's just la la la. Okay, so we need something else on here. Let's do some of this holly in the corners. I think that'll be pretty. Okay, and my apologies, but I have to turn it around. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do... Let's do one of these in that corner, and I'll do it that way you guys get to see it close up, and it'll be facing me, so. So we'll stick that in that corner. And again, I really do need to be careful of these molds. This side never completely dried as far as the whole piece that I put in there. So, like I said, it needs to, you know, rest overnight. So I just kind of put that down into the corner. I'll get my stick and just work the corner. Work that crease on both sides. And I really like the way this is going over the letters. I think that's kind of cool. And there I am leaning on that mold again. And they do set up, you know, when they're air drying, but hence the name. But I only did it today, so it is a little delicate. As a matter of fact, even just since I came home this evening, so after 5, so less than 3 hours ago. All right. know, I'm shaking the whole table. I pulled up a little paint from the corner. That's okay. We had an excess, I guess. So, I think that looks good. I love it. I really love it over the letters. I think that's kind of cool. Let's see. I guess we can do this corner. Let's see what we have left. That's way too big, I think, for any of this. And I wish I would have run this over here. No, I couldn't have done that. Maybe here. What do you think? I think that would look pretty. Let's do it. All right, kind of gonna center this with the roses a little bit, match it up a little. I don't want too much up on the letters, but a little bit. Again, get that crease, but most of it is on the flat part. So again, the colors that I used on this one, it's Hampton Olive, and the letters are done in conch, and then the other sign that I did was the total opposite. The background was conch, and the letters were in the Hampton Olive. Again, I'd have probably done a white if I had it to do over again, but since I did the roses, I kind of think it looks pretty. So. That's what happens when you forget to bring your paint home. At least I brought most of it. I'm in this convergence, I guess, between my house and the studio or the shop. I mean, I just have this supply of things here at the home because this is where I do Tuesday Talk, because it's not until 8 o'clock. So I'd like to be home doing it, but I had to kind of get some of that stuff out of my dining room for Christmas coming. So I took it all to the store, then I brought some of it home. So this piece just left my house the other day, this one I'm working on now, and I'll be taking it back to the shop tomorrow. So it's been getting the runaround. If I had known I was going to do it on Tuesday Talk, then I probably would have left it here, but it's all good. I did the work on it at the shop anyway, so. Okay. I'm going to hold it up for you. And then I'm going to turn it around and take a quick look at it. See what symmetry we want. And do we want to do that? So we can do, well, this side definitely needs something. This is like exactly that. I'm thinking maybe putting it up in that corner and then maybe call it quits. Maybe there'll be some little tiny little thing we can put in the corners. If not, we'll just be happy with this. Once again, we're kind of jamming that into the corner, so that might be one of those times. Actually, I don't even think I can get in there with scissors to trim it. So you definitely, on something like this, want to seal it. So we have been on back order with Gator Hide, which is our most water resistant sealer. But if you do like about 3 coats of any of the other sealers, either the flat, the gloss, or the satin, that should be equivalent to the Gator Hide. So they're all water resistant, but Gator Hide just happens to be the most. So about 3 coats of your sealer should do it. And then you can, have drinks or whatever on here and not worry about it. Okay, just kind of a little delicate here. Getting this lifted up. So is anybody watching Yellowstone, or am I the only one that hasn't yet? Or is everyone watching it? I guess we're gonna try it out. Give it a whirl. See if we like it. Okay, that I pulled up a little too soon, but I'm just going to use my fingers and push it down, or rub it down and burnish it. Oh, hey, Rosemary. I see a comment. Thank you. I think this is going to be very pretty, and I think that is all I need now. What do you think? Think that's enough? It's a little bit on the asymmetric side. I'll also, when this transfer kind of cures, I'll also do a light sanding on it before I seal it. Just kind of takes down, it makes the transfer look a little more vintage. So that looks pretty, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other piece, and just going to take this Gemstone Mousse and go over the details of this mold that we put on here. Oh, I like that. There's really nothing else fancy except maybe the handles that I could put a little bit of this detail on. I guess you can't see that. So like I said, even though I did that earlier this evening and it's not fully cured yet, it's strong enough, it's sturdy enough to take that. Okay, so I'm gonna put the screen up and hold it up. Here we go. Okay, and fa la 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 la. Okay, we're going to seal it, and you will find this baby in the shop. So I also have to do, and I'll do this tomorrow, the underside. I'll definitely seal that or paint it. Because, with a tray, if you're carrying it, people might see the underside. You definitely want to do that, as well as the sign, too. And I'll show you that again in case you didn't see that. So we have the Mary porch sign. All right. So that's what we got out of this one transfer, and we still have a lot of designs left. A whole page full of designs that we can use on other projects. Really pretty transfers. Thank you, thank you. Good seeing you. And look for Thursday night, the video that has, this is part 2 of my friend's decor. So look for your beautiful trees, Rosemary. So, okay, well, thank you for joining me both on YouTube and on Facebook tonight. And I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and take care. All right. Bye.